Hey guys, it's the 11th of September. We've had a bit of a cooler period, although I'm quite fortunate in the south. It's not been too bad. I know it's going to get down to freezing, to zero in some parts of Scotland, I think. But yeah, I thought I'd give you a little show around the greenhouse. I've been a little bit disheartened. I mean, I posted a video on the Facebook Fig group talking about it all. So if you've watched that, then yeah, this is going to just be the same thing, really. But yeah, been a bit disheartened with the lack of figs ripening. I think last year about this time, my Vidino del Nord was ripening. It's only got 3 figs on this year, and yeah, none of them are showing any signs of wanting to ripen, which is a shame. It has been a little bit dark though. The grapevine does get out of control, and I have to chop it back so many times because otherwise it casts a bit of shade. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, after the cold snap, sort of in the next couple of days, it's actually meant to warm up quite nicely again for a good week or so. So hopefully that stimulates some things to ripen. Because yeah, I did have a main crop off this Smith fig tree, but that was 8 or 9 days ago, and yeah, none of the others seem to be swelling at all, which is a bit weird. But yeah, and Black Madeira, which I know is a late one, so that's okay. I know it's going to be late. And then I've got some Coldedama gigantina figs here, which I'm really hoping will ripen up for me, because I don't think I've had fruit off of it. And yeah, it was part of a batch of cuttings that were from a reputable seller years and years ago, but one of the figs definitely wasn't the right variety. So I've always kind of questioned whether or not these ones are. It's got the right shape to be Coldedama gigantina. You know, Coldedams have this kind of really nice neck of the fig. So yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it ripens up. We've got a bit of sunshine. And that does make all the difference when you've got a greenhouse. It makes a huge difference because it can be pretty chilly outside and get pretty toasty in here in the sun. But yeah, got this lovely little basil, small leaved basil called Boscuro basil. I'm probably going to grow it again next year because it's really nice. Super fragrant. When you do that, you just get that aroma. A few little figs here that are going to allotment at some point. And yeah, I've got sweet potatoes. These took way too long to get growing, so I didn't actually get around to cropping them this year. I was going to try and keep these as a house plant so I could take cuttings early next spring to get them going, but I don't know if they'll survive over winter inside. But yeah, something that I did want to show you actually, which I haven't already mentioned on the fig video on Facebook, is I do have a few fruits that are set on the citrus. So this is a Satsuma citrus unshiu, and it's got a couple of little fruits on. I've had problems with the citrus, and I think I know what it is. I think it is the snails that are doing this, because they've gone crazy on my lime tree outside. And yeah, I noticed that my grapefruit, which is slightly away from the glass and has a higher canopy, tends to get less damage to it. I mean, it's really nice and healthy this year. I've been feeding them all, so they should be healthy. But yeah, I think the snails are getting to the citrus. It's hard to get back into this part of the greenhouse because it's a little bit overcrowded with lots of figs and stuff. I've also got, I think, to be fair, this little greenhouse tour is probably exactly the same as in August. Don't think much has changed really. Lovely little dwarf Cavendish. I've got ginger growing. I think I mentioned this last time. I did plant some ginger from the supermarket, and it's a bit battered, but I think that's because I keep walking past it and just kind of, yeah, not really. Oh, there's another shoot here. So yeah, I doubt that really it's had enough time to grow whatsoever. You can see the ginger there, because it was very, very late to put this shoot up. But I might try it again next year and start them off early inside and then see, because it would be quite nice to have a little bit of ginger. I went to the supermarket and bought like the biggest piece that I possibly could find, so that's a good way to start it off. But yeah, so that's, I didn't really show you properly the other citrus that's fruiting is the calamondin, which is pretty reliable. You can see it's got all these tiny fruits. Now these are like extremely sour and tiny, so they're not really, you wouldn't really eat them as such. You maybe put them in drinks or something like that. But yeah, it's doing quite well. I'm hoping that, seeing as now the grapefruit has recovered, that next year it will flower for me, get some citrus. I've got also a few house plants that the snails have been eating them, but they have rooted really nicely, so I might take these inside and then pot them up. These were all just cuttings, so yeah, I think that's the greenhouse. Just to show you in the garden, the grapes are doing well. They're doing really well, but they are again just very, very tiny, and I did try to prune them and thin them out. They're starting to colour up. Yeah, I did try to prune them and thin them out, but it's so vigorous, it's just ridiculous. I mean, you can see here's the, I need to be careful actually that it doesn't sort of break my greenhouse. It's really thick. This was just a cutting that I took when I was at like a community orchard thing, community allotment, way back in like 2017 or something like that, and just stuck it in the ground, and it's just gone absolutely mental. Like I show you, it's gone up to, it's climbing over next door's roof, and it's covering up a lot of their solar panels that they've got down here, which I'd probably need to, it's hard to get to that though. And then you can see it's just growing into that olive tree. They've got olives, by the way, just in case. Actually, I've got the ladder right here, so I'll just show you this. I don't know if this is ripening or if it's just, oh, it's soft. That might be ripening actually. This supposed Italian 258. I don't know if it is, but yeah, if that ripens, that'd be interesting. Just gonna go up this ladder. Just make sure they're not in their garden. Don't want to like intrude. I don't know if you can see. You probably can't. I don't know if my camera zooms. Oh, it does. You can see like through there. They kind of look like bunches of grapes, but they're olives. They've actually got some olives. Oh wait, hang on, what's going on here? Sorry about that. Some picture of my ugly face. But yeah, you can see the grapes here. They're doing alright. I don't know what to do with them this year. Probably juice them. But yeah, the grapevine's just going crazy. I can't quite reach that. I need to chop this back here so that it lets the light into the greenhouse. Anyway, a little different angle for you. Don't get to see it from this angle usually. Yeah, I've got my persimmon here. It's in quite a small pot. I'm going to pot it up and hopefully it'll fruit next year. There we go. I think I'm still slightly zoomed in. I don't know how to. There we go. I think that's better. And then this is the Vidino del Nord outside. Got quite a few figs on. The air layer that I put on, which I had to readjust about a month ago, you probably can't see, but there's a little root just there. So I know it's rooting, which is cool. The reason being is because the branch was damaged, so instead of just cutting it off completely, I'm going to take an air layer of the healthy part and then chop it off, and then I've got another tree. And I think this next year I'm going to pot this up, because this is a really, really nice thick stemmed one, and it produces really nice figs. It's just they're very late outside, but maybe with maturity the tree would produce them a bit earlier, which would be really cool. And then back here, yeah, sort of the same old. I'll just show you next door's brown turkey fig, actually, because yeah, I had a few fruits off it that were completely overhanging. You can see it's massive. It's kind of unfair they get to plant theirs in the ground, but that is going to be a big tree, so I'm not sure what they're going to do about that. But interestingly, you can see through there are some Braber that, because they've been lower down in the shade, they still haven't ripened, and this is in the southeast. You know, brown turkey was probably about a month ago that they were starting to ripen, so yeah, it's interesting how a little bit of shade and a little bit of cooler sort of microclimate can really delay things. Desert King, hopefully next year this is going to be a good producer. And yeah, that's about it really. So much stuff all around my garden. Yeah, that's about it. I just might as well just show you this stuff. Apple tree here. I'm going to be removing this next year, because yeah, it's quite a lot of work to. If I put a bit of effort in, I could grow a really good crop of apples. Maybe I'll keep it. I don't know, actually. Just changing my mind as I go. The final fig here is a Col de Dame Noir, and it's outside, so it'd be really interesting to see if I can get this to ripen for me this year. I haven't had a fruit off of it yet, but the leaves are such a lovely shape. I love this shape. It's really, really lovely. So hopefully it will put some fruit on. Ripen its fruit. Anyway, there we go. Sorry for the quite rambling, waffly tour, but there we go. There's the greenhouse and garden. Hopefully after this little cold snap, things will warm up, and yeah, you can get the fruits ripening before the autumn really sets in. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Lots of love, lots of peace. I'll speak to you soon.